What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'm joined with Robin, and today we are talking FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda Research, CZ from Binance. What the hell is going on? Should you take your money off of FTX? Is it about to go under? We're going to cover all that and much, much more. Let's not waste any time. Jump right into it. So this all started with CoinDesk, who got a hold of the Q2 earnings report from Alameda Research, which showed that more than half of what was on Alameda's balance sheet was the FTT token. We're not going to get into those details, but we're going to get into who might have leaked that and for what reason. So we're going to start with CZ and his tweet. This is tweeted on yesterday at around 1:50 in the afternoon. Liquidating our FTT is just post-exit risk management, learning from Luna. We gave support before, but we won't pretend to make love after divorce. We are not against anyone, but we won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. Onwards. Now, to me, that sounds like a man scorned, okay? And this goes back to July when Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda Research bailed out Voyager, okay? Gave him the loan. So this is a tweet from CZ on July 7th of this year. So 3AC owes Voyager a few $100 million, went bust. FTX/Alameda gives 3AC $100 million, but didn't save it. Alameda then invests in Voyager, then takes a $377 million loan from Voyager. Okay, Voyager went bust. FTX didn't bail them out or return the money. Hard to follow, ? Which to me, and I don't know about you, Robin, sounds like a slight towards Sam Bankman-Fried. To which about a month later, Sam Bankman-Fried, while speaking to Decrypt, said this. He doesn't want to be the only one offering bailouts. He said, quote, I would love it if other people did that. I would be super happy for others to take on that instead of me. The reason that I have been doing it, talking about bailing out people, frankly, is because it doesn't seem clear to me that there are others who are stepping up and doing that. Okay? And then CZ tweets this, won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind our backs. I don't know, Robin. To me, this sounds like vengeance. This sounds like CZ saying, okay, you're doing all this weird stuff, right? You're putting the crypto industry at risk by being greedy, by being a shark, by being cutthroat business in the land of crypto. And you don't want to include me in regulation talks? Okay, fine. Watch this. Bam. Leaks the earnings report. You got to remember, who has access to these earnings reports? Investors, shareholders, Binance, CZ. They were investors. They were shareholders in Voyager, in Alameda Research, in FTX Ventures. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts, Robin?
Well, Alameda Research isn't publicly traded, so they don't have through shareholders.
They have investors.
Yeah, they don't have shareholders. They don't have to publicly tell anything. And that's how they got into the situation that they're in now, is that they're not obligated to make anything transparent. Now, they say over and over again that they have transparency, that they've been audited, but I mean, you have $8 billion worth of the FTT token on Alameda Research's balance sheet, and the market cap for the FTT token in its entirety is less than $3 billion. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't take a mathematician. Even a elementary school person could figure that out. And I don't really subscribe to the idea that CZ is the one that started this or is the one that leaked information. He said it himself. You're lobbying against the crypto industry. He ain't vibing with it. He's sitting on billions of dollars worth of FTT token from the early investment rounds in the FTX token. They've already exited the position. He's been sitting on these FTT tokens. And he's looking at a balance sheet that got leaked. I don't think it came from him once again. He even said it didn't. Now, if the balance sheets aren't adding up in the same way that we look at them, if they're not adding up, CZ's looking at them too. Like, okay, well, you don't have the money you say you have. And your numbers don't add up. And so there's all kinds of potential for risk there. And we see company after company going under during the bear market. Why keep yourself exposed to risk when you have $2 billion in said token when there's a potential for a collapse there? And so CZ is doing the same thing that me, you, another retail or any smart investor would do. You see a company you're invested in, not jiving, not adding up, you're going to exit. That's what CZ's doing, man. And you know what? He can't exit a $2 billion position without causing a gigantic shakeup, because you know what? There's not even a lot of liquidity in the project as it is, because obviously we saw 80% of the tokens that the FTT tokens are sitting with Alameda Research. And if 80% of the tokens are sitting there and you're going to go sell $2 billion worth, how the hell is that supposed to add up, right?
Yeah.
And so either way, whether or not CZ is the person that got the ball rolling or not, you know, the numbers don't add up. And whether or not CZ made it front and center, somebody else did, I don't believe he did. This is just the reaction to a crap business model. That's all it is.
Guys, let us know in the comments. Do you think CZ is the one that got this thing going, that might have possibly leaked that report? Or do you think it just naturally happened? Now, before we get into what is happening on FTX, whether you should take your money off the exchange, I want to cover something that was interesting to me. And we covered this during our live show today. But Sam Bankman-Fried, if you remember, they owed Voyager $377 million. It is not often a borrower bails out its lender, especially when it's to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. Alameda Research owes Voyager $377 million. And this is Voyager's balance sheet of outstanding money that is due to them. Coming in at number one, we had Three Arrows Capital at over $650 million owed. Next was Alameda Research, which, by the way, Sam Bankman-Fried controls 90% of it. Okay? 90% of Alameda is controlled by Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, here's what's interesting. At one point, Alameda and its venture arm, Alameda Ventures, were the single largest Voyager shareholders, with 11.6% of all outstanding shares. At the time, that was talked about in a June 17th press release. A week later, on June 23rd, Alameda announced in a press release that it had surrendered or returned in exchange for no money 4.5 million shares of Voyager, which was worth roughly $2.6 million. Now, in what world of business does a company give shares back and takes no money in return? Well, excuse me, you might be asking yourself, why would they do that? I have that answer for you. Here is why. Alameda's share surrender brought its stake in the company from 11.6 down to 9.49, just below the 10% threshold that would have made it an insider in the eyes of the SEC. You give away $2.6 million of stock for no money. Because why? Because you know during bankruptcy proceedings, they dig through everything. And if you're Sam Bankman-Fried and Alameda Ventures, the last thing you want to do is be labeled an insider and have not only the judge, but the bankruptcy court look into your company and your dealings and what you did. And so, shady to say the least. What are your thoughts on this, Robin?
Do you think that they could still charge them with insider trading before, taking into account that they were a larger stakeholder and they probably just gave away the stock to circumvent prosecution?
That's I think literally what they did. Because
no,
what
I'm saying that's what they did. But
explanation-
do you think that the SEC can frame it in that way? Be like, look, you're not going to get away that easily. The threshold is 10%.
They should.
Yeah,
they should. That is shady at least. That is at least shady, if not illegal. You cannot give me another reason why a company would give stock away for no money in return. Something is stinky. Something, the diaper is stinky on Alameda Research and FTX. And I'm not great with analogies, but there it is.
Are you great with diapers?
Something doesn't smell right. And this is their way of covering their tracks. And so now I want to move on to, well, how are investors reacting? What is going on? We know on chain that Alameda has depleted their stablecoin reserves, and it's all been moved to FTX. You're seeing massive withdrawals and as investors are taking money from FTX. And so I have a couple things highlighted here. Mass withdrawals from FTX have accelerated with weekly stablecoin outflows from FTX reaching $451 million on the weekly. On the contrary, Binance has seen inflows of more than $411 million over the same period. This is from Peck Shield Alert. Around 40.4 million USDC has been transferred from FTX to Jump Trading within the last 24 hours. Also, this is what's interesting to me as well. You have a total of $93 million worth of Ether, Sandbox, Phantom, Axie Infinity, 1inch, Nexo, Link, Matic, and stablecoins move out of FTX and into Nexo. Okay? But this is what is so alarming to me. And this is why I tell you, you need to take your money off of FTX. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Protect yourself. Don't fall into the Celsius trap. Don't fall into the Voyager trap. Sam Bankman-Fried came out and said, everything's fine. That's what Celsius said. And that's what Voyager said, guys. We have to learn from our mistakes to move forward as a community. Okay. This right here. Okay. This is Bitcoin balances on exchanges. Coinbase Pro has around 600,000 Bitcoin. Binance has around 511,000, so on and so forth. Look at FTX. They are in the negative 200 Bitcoin. So if everyone removed all the Bitcoin from the exchanges, they would not have enough Bitcoin to fulfill those orders. Guys.
Well, they're already negative. They can't fulfill the orders. There's been a delay when it comes to withdrawing Bitcoin. There's been as long as 5 hours for you to get your Bitcoin off of FTX. You got to ask yourself, why is it taking 5 hours? Probably because they don't have enough Bitcoin. The metrics say it for themselves. So what are they doing? They're liquidating something else. They're sending it to Binance or to a competitor.
What are they liquidating, Robin? They can't liquidate FTT.
Nope.
What's their next biggest bag?
Solana. So they're liquidating. Well, they also got stable coins as well.
Well, but we've seen all their stable coins have moved, though.
Either way, what they're doing is they don't have enough Bitcoin on hand. And they're going and buying Bitcoin from the competitor, moving it over, and then fulfilling the withdrawals afterwards. And Sam Bankman-Fried came out on a tweet saying, hey, don't worry, we are backed 1-to-1. We don't rehypothecate any of the user's funds. Like, everything is clear.
So then explain the negative.
Exactly.
Explain it.
Perhaps the source, the coin glass there, perhaps they...
That is
have accurate numbers.
Possible, but they're very reliable.
Highly unlikely, but possible. You know, I'm not going to say that, hey, you know, nail in the coffin, it's he lied, but don't look good. And
guys,
you be careful. There's no reason. There is literally no reason right now to take any chance with FTX. Even if you're the biggest FTX homer, even if your cousin is Sam Bankman-Fried and he's assured you, like, don't take any risk right now. At least move it for a couple months and then go back if that's where you want to go hang out. Just take your funds off. If you're dead set on keeping it on an exchange, just put it on Coinbase, put it on Binance, put it on MetaMask. Just get it off of there, man. I'm telling you, there is no reason to take the downside risk. There's no positive to it. There's literally no positive. There's no positive to keeping it on that exchange versus another one when you weigh the risks. The risk right now is for you to wake up and have an email in your email box and it says withdrawals are halted.
Guys, which is a real possibility, okay? If we don't learn from the mistakes of the past with what happened with Celsius and Voyager, then we will never grow as a crypto community and we will be the laughingstock of the entirety of the investment landscape. People are going to look at us and say, these guys are dumb. The same thing happens over and over and over again. And yet people are still stuck holding the bag of nothing. Don't be that person. Okay. That'll do it for the video today. This is a developing story. We will continue to keep you in the loop. So make sure.
I will say real quick. I just want to say, I don't believe in my heart that FTX is going to go under. There is a possibility Alameda goes under. FTX is fine. You can even have the FTT token lose its value and it go under. So it's just a numbers game. There's a chance, a realistic chance that FTX goes under. Although I think it's unlikely, it's a very real possibility. So why take the chance? So that's what I'll leave there.
Yeah. And again, what I was saying is we will continue to keep our nose to the grindstone here. I'm not sure if that's the right analogy either, but make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and come join us Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our daily live show. That'll do it for the video today. Make sure to comment your thoughts. Let us know, like the video. On behalf of myself and Robin, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Peace.